somebody said, how do you feel about ICP? Well, that's a very loaded question. I have a little bit of a storied past with ICP, you see. First of all, I will say, when I was like 13 or 14 years old, I quite enjoyed me some ICP. What the fuck was the album that I had? I listened to it like all the time. It started with an M. There was a clown face on the front. It was on fire. And it might have been juggling something that was on fire. The Great Milenko? Is that what it's called? Pretty sure that's what it was. I used to bump the shit out of that album. I thought they were great. And then, whatever, just kind of grew out of it and got into pro wrestling and, whatever, just kind of grew out of it. And then a few years ago, like 5 years ago or some shit, when Nova and I were still living in the ghetto, Nova toured with ICP. I'm not even going to get into that because it's fucking wild. But then I guess, like, Nova and I had started dating, and we're posting pictures together all the time, and we were doing some fucking wild shit, like, just to try and start shit on the internet and just have fun, and just it was fun. It was a good time. And I guess, like, Violent J just, like, hated it, and he was like, your crackhead boyfriend is making you look bad and fucking blah 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 blah. So, like, one day we're, like, sitting in the living room, and Nova's phone's just like ding 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 ding. I'm like, who the fuck is texting you 10,000 times in 20 seconds? And she's like, fuck, I think it's Violent J. Like, and I was like, let me see. So I'm like reading the messages, and he's like, oh, your boyfriend's a crackhead and he's making you look bad and blah, 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 blah. So I took a selfie on the phone giving the finger, and I sent it back, and I said, fuck you, clown. This is before I was anybody, okay? I don't give a fuck about professional relationships. I don't give a fuck about pissing people. I don't give a fuck about any of it. So I just fucking do it. Boom, take the photo, send it back, and he fucking freaks the fuck out. And then I went and posted it on the internet, and all the juggalos fucking lost it. They're so fucking mad. And I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I had like fucking like 8 followers on the internet. I was just being a dick. And Violent J was being a dick too. Like it was what it was. Like it was just 2 guys being fucking dicks. And it just started some crazy fucking internet fucking bullshit. And that's really it. Like, but like, so whenever somebody asks me about ICP, it's like, I don't know, like they're one of the biggest rap groups of like all time. Like they've done very fucking well for themselves. They have an extremely loyal fan base. When I was a kid, I listened to their music and they dropped some fucking slappers back then. But unfortunately, the waters got fucking muddy along the way, and it just fucking is what it is. I don't have any hate in my heart for those guys or any weird shit like that. But fuck, 6 years ago, dude, like I just jumped out the window on some shit, and it is what it is. Like fuck, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Clearly, it worked out okay for me, though. Okay. There's a part 2. People are like, man, this ICP story's crazy. There's a part 2. This is where shit gets really fucked up, okay? So, I go on tour, and we're playing a show somewhere. I forget where the fuck it is. I don't know. Anyways, Shaggy from ICP comes to the show. And this is like in the vicinity of that situation that I had with Violent J. So we're like, oh shit, like Shaggy's at the show. Like, wonder what that's about. So the merch guy texts me and he's like, Shaggy's here. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, not a big deal. Like, I'm sure it's going to be fine. I'll talk to him when I get there because I'm not at the venue yet. So a couple hours later, get my shit together, get in the car, get to the venue. And I'm like, where's Shaggy at? I was going to talk to him about the whole Violent J shit. And they're like, oh, security kicked them out because they didn't want there to be any beef here tonight. And I'm like, holy fuck. Now it's going to look like I had Shaggy kicked out, which is not what happened. So who here has fucking Shaggy's number? One of the guys at the venue has the number. I'm like, can you call him and tell him to come here? And it's all good. I'll meet him in the green room and we can chat. So they call fucking Shaggy. Shaggy comes back to the venue, and there's a bunch of my fans standing out front of the venue, fucking drunk, and they get into a fight with one of Shaggy's friends, and the guy got his head smacked into a car or some shit, and there's this big fucking scuffle outside. And then, so he never made it into the venue. And then I was like, fuck, now it looks like I called him and asked him to come back here and set him up and had a bunch of fucking fans waiting outside, which was not the fucking case. But, you know, I don't know, man. It just wasn't our day to talk that day, I guess. I mean, I don't know. So that was like fucking years and years and years ago. It's probably like, I don't know, fucking 4 years ago now. But yeah, that's crazy fucking story. Like, ugh, fuck. I just hate hip hop. It's fucking so, oh God.